Dominance. You might have heard the famous saying that the best thing about success is that it makes you develop into the kind of person that's required in order to be successful, just like the transformations that you have to go through in your person, in your character, in your habits, in your attitudes. Like, you can't be successful if you just hang on to negative attitudes, resentment, jealousies, comparisons. All that stuff has to go, as you become more and more successful, because those are the things that are holding you back. So while it may seem like we live in the world of competition and cutthroat and, king of the hill and subjugation, that's only from the perspective of the carnal world. If you think of it from a spiritual perspective, it's more what I was talking about at the beginning, that it's other people are really just adjuncts to your own journey to become the best version of yourself. Like in my book that just came out called Natural Consequences, and consequences being outcomes, not punishments, that there's the notion, which I've heard before from other people, that everyone you meet in life is just a version of yourself, because there's an objective world out there, but it's kind of like everybody experiences the world differently, so actually everybody's living in a different world because we're all living the experience that we have in our minds and our brains. And everybody that you meet is kind of like a trigger to become, a certain version of yourself as you grow and develop. Like everyone's kind of like a secondary actor in the main play of your life, where you're the primary actor. So it's kind of like, from a spiritual perspective, there's not really anybody trying to subjugate you or dominate you. It's just that you're relating to, inviting in, benefiting from, being challenged by different external aspects that kind of hone you, like, steel in a fire, diamonds made under pressure, the challenges that we go through in life. So the real competition is with yourself. Like, I'll give you a more concrete example. So when I was running, and I was a really good runner in college, I didn't view others as like, I want to beat this person, beat that person. I mean, when I first started, I did, but I started thinking about, like, these people are actually my friends, because I consider them my friends because they're forcing me to become better. Like, the ones that are better than me, especially, they're forcing me to, like, expand my capabilities. It's kind of like anybody that can do something that you can't do and you want to be able to do it. It's like you can learn from those people. Like you could almost consider them, like mentors. So I called this podcast Dominance because it seems like sometimes like people have our thumb on us, and that we're in competition with people, but we're only in competition with ourselves. We get to make all the decisions of what we want to do in our life. Nobody can force us to do things we don't want to do, and the ultimate sense of it in the end is really our choice. And even people that might seem, from one perspective, to be like competitors or even adversaries, these people, if we allow it, could just make us better. I mean, if we want to, we can avoid certain people. There's no, we don't have to interact with those we don't want to. But we could also use the challenges of life. Like in a previous podcast today, I talked about Joyce Meyer, who said that she had a lot of sandpaper in her life, and she said that she had a lot of sandpaper in her life that because she had a lot of rough edges being smoothed out. And there's another famous saying that says there are no strangers in life, there's only friends that you haven't met yet. And if you believe that everybody is put in your life to make you better, even if it's painful at times, that, like, I used to feel sometimes, because I was born into this world with kind of a gentle soul, and I felt like a lot of people took advantage of me. I mean, but then I came to recognize, not to play the victim role, that I had let people because I wasn't either strong enough, or I just didn't, for whatever the reason was. But then I realized, like, these people were actually my friends, because maybe they didn't intend to make me stronger, but they made me stronger, and a thicker skin helped me to develop more discipline. And ultimately, that, I think, is what gives me the confidence to be very successful, is that if you feel like you could just do what you need to do in life in a positive way to develop yourself and not let things bother you, and not get caught up in all the competition, and not see people as adversaries. Like, people get really sidetracked because they feel like they're in competition with this person, that person. If you feel like everybody in your life that you invite into your life, or that you do associate with, is helping you in some way, otherwise they wouldn't be there. And if they're not helping you, then you can just remove yourself. Then it'll help you so much more.